Announcing and about to bring up Dorothy, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Dorothy, okay? So, Dorothy holds a BSc in sociology from the University of Lagos. All Lagos people in the house make some noise. Hey. From Lagos. And is studying for an MSc Leadership and Sustainability from the University of Cumbria, UK. She is a global professional in human resources, that's the GPHR, and is a member of the Society for Human Resource Management, SHRIM, as well as Chartered Institute of Professional Management, Nigeria. She is a member of Institute of Directors and a John C. Maxwell certified speaker, trainer, and coach. Dorothy is currently the HR Director, Anglophone West Africa in Schneider Electric, a company leading the digital transformation of energy management and automation in homes, buildings, data centers, infrastructure, and industries. With over 20 years' experience, Dorothy has deep competencies in a wide-ranging human resource advisory services. She has worked as the group head, HR and admin for the Pan-African International PAI Group, where she managed the HR and admin for 5 subsidiaries of the group. Prior to that, Dorothy was the country head of human resources for Siemens Nigeria, and was also for 7 years an HR business partner manager with MTN Communications Nigeria. Before joining MTN, Dorothy worked with Restral Consulting as an associate, and later as head of people management. She currently sits on the board of one of Schneider Electric's affiliate companies. Dorothy is a coach. Dorothy is a motivational speaker and is passionate about helping people and organizations achieve their highest potential. Please let us put our hands together as we welcome Dorothy Tunde-Ajala.
Okay, so I'm simply Dorothy, and I'm an HR professional. Hi, Emmanuel. Hi, good to see you. I've seen a lot of pictures of Emmanuel, but this is my first time I've actually seen him face to face. Yes. And I guess Taiwo is one of the people sitting there. So these are my people from, we call ourselves the Hub Nation. And really, it's a privilege to be here. Thank you so much, Ajibola, for inviting me. And yes, a room full of women. A room full of women. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm simply Dorothy, and I work in a male-dominated organization. So, how many of you know this popular song? I'm just going to play, if you're familiar with it, just swing along. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, so that song was done by James Brown. How many of you, do you know the year that James Brown did that song? How many of you know James Brown? Come on, how many of you know James Brown? Don't make me feel like, hey, please. So he says, it's a man's world. Is it a man's world? But, you know, many people seem to forget the concluding part of that song. He says, what's the concluding? Please put up the concluding part. He says, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. And this was in 1965. Oh, great revelation at that time. But the question is this: do you believe it? As a woman, Do you believe it? Do you believe that it's a man's world? Let me just share quickly a few statistics. I found out really that I grew up in church, and there's this scripture that talks about 7 women. Huh? Sorry? 7 women holding on to one man. And really, the way that the world is structured, we kind of like feel or believe that we have a higher population of men to women. It was when I was asked to come and speak at this session that I actually found out that it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio, both globally, in Africa, and believe it or not, irrespective of those messages they send on WhatsApp, in Nigeria, the difference is not much. So for every 100, the difference, for every 105 men born, 100 women are born. So it's really, the difference is not that much. So we don't have to, we need to understand that it's really a stereotype when people say that. So, how can we lead in a male-dominated organization? So we're just going to break it down a bit. We'll break down the question. So, leadership. I love John Maxwell, so don't be surprised that I'm taking a quote from him. And he says that leadership is all about influence. Nothing more, nothing less. So it's not about position, it's all about influence. Titles don't have much value when it comes to leading. True leadership cannot be awarded, appointed, or assigned. It comes only from influence, and that cannot be mandated. It must be earned. It has to be earned. Also, we all know this very popular lady. I don't know if she's still the CEO of Facebook, but she was once CEO of Facebook. Sheryl Sandberg, she says, leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts after your absence. So what is a male-dominated organization? A male-dominated organization, according to Forbes, comprises of 25% or fewer female employees and an even smaller percentage of women in leadership. This is usually commonplace in fields like science, technology, engineering, math, finance, law, and of course, politics. You know, I was sharing with a friend of mine yesterday, and I said to her, and I'm going to ask you the question, please, can you give me the name of that female governor in Nigeria and the states that she manages? Anyone? Anyone? Sorry? Yeah, I like that. Work in progress. Someone said work in progress. Someone said she doesn't exist. Now, I don't want to bore you with data, because there is data to support the fact that women are not given an opportunity, or rather, women do not take the opportunity to lead in organizations. And so we basically kind of are used to, stepping back for the men who, I just love men. They know what they want, they go for it. And that is really where I hope that us women will get to in the near future. So basically, only 48.5% of women globally participate in the workforce. And this data is from ILO, and this is as recent as 2018. Now, I like to think that this is more of the organized sector, because if you do go to the rural areas, there are more women actually actively engaged in, in the workforce, as it were. It may not be organized workforce, but they are there. They are the farmers. They are the small entrepreneurs who do not even know that they are called entrepreneurs. So they are there. So I kind of like want to, I feel that this data is not representative in terms of the unorganized sector, but really, this is it. So how do you lead in a male-dominated organization? I said earlier, I already shared this data earlier, and I want to say something as well that, look, I don't really believe that I'm a woman leading in a male-dominated organization. I like to believe that I am a person leading in an organization, and that works for me. And I believe that each and every one of us, we need to begin to think that way, because sometimes, when something is done for good, okay, how do I want to say this? I want to say that we are human beings who can be conditioned. We can be conditioned. So all of the time I'm seeing ratios of, women are not given an opportunity, And somehow I feel, this is Dorothy talking now, not based on any data, I feel that the more you focus on that, the more you begin to kind of like apply it to how you manage yourself. So I like to think I am Dorothy, I'm a person, I'm competent with my high qualities, with strength. I'm a woman of strength. And I have the abilities that are different from everybody else. I bring my uniqueness to work. And it is that enables me to advance. Please, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the issues are not there. They are there. They stare us in the face all the time. But I choose not to focus on those issues because I believe that I can break the barriers. There's this song, So there's this song that says, the higher you build your barriers, the taller I'll become. And yes, indeed. So I want the way I choose to manage my career is bring it on. Yes, bring it on. And I see the obstacles, but I don't focus on them. So when Michelle Obama says there's no limit to what we as women can accomplish, she truly means it. She's saying bring it on. Bring it on. Irrespective of whatever obstacles, we are able to surmount it. Okay? So therefore, we are our only competition. Tell your neighbor, you are your only competition. You are the one person that can bring on the glass ceiling. Okay, sorry, you don't have to repeat that. You really are the one that can close the door. You are the one that can close the door. Nobody. Girl, you close the door on me, I'll look for a window. What is important is for me to get into that room. That is what is important. You're the only one who will allow yourself to carry on those stereotypes. Truly, we are the only ones. We are the barriers that can stop ourselves. Okay? And Serena, we all know Serena Williams. Quite honestly, I don't know how that babe bounced back, all packed, right after she gave birth. But she says it. She says you have to believe in yourself when no one else will. So it starts with the mind. It's a mind thing. It really is a mind thing. And so you want to break down those barriers in your mind first. You want to deal with your own self first before you begin to look at whatever else anyone is dishing out. Because at the end of the day, you are the only competition you're coming against. So what does it take to lead in a male-dominated organization? You've got to be technically competent. I've been saying to myself, should I share this story? Should I not? Should I share this story? Should I not? Because my friend warned me yesterday. So, I interview a lot. While I was in MTN, we had a role we needed to fill. Invited male and female and all of that. And this lady came in. She came in dressed, but inappropriately dressed, to the extent that my Muslim colleagues, my Alpha colleagues in the room, had to leave the room. And she had nothing to say. She couldn't even introduce her own self to save her own life. And frontal view. And she gave us a very good view. So ladies, it's not about that. Technical competence. Know your stuff. So if a man needs to know 1, 2, 3, you need to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. All the way to 10 and beyond. Really. You need to know your stuff. You need to own your stuff and walk around like you know what you are doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, people will say, I bet she's a woman, you know now. Yes. Yes. It's the truth. Up to something as little as driving. Driving. I mean driving a vehicle. Yeah. You hear comments like, I bet if I'm a woman, don't just bother yourself. Yes. So know what you know. Own what you know. Share what you know. Because it is only when you know that you can add value to any organization, to yourself, and to everybody around you. Okay? Communicate. Communication is so key. They say that we women, we know how to multitask and all of that. But a lot of us women actually don't know that much how to delegate unless we take a conscious effort to delegate. We don't think anyone can do it just the way, just that Dorothy touch. You know that touch. You know that touch. You know the touch I'm talking about. You know the touch, don't you? Come now, talk to me. That touch. But it's not true. And let me tell you what, I've had to learn a hard lesson and I'm still learning because, my colleague was sharing with me the other, she had worked with me in another organization. She was like, man, those days I used to think you were mean. I said, hey, what did I do? She said, I'll write a letter. You will make it write it over and over and over and over again. But today, and she said, I used to think you were mean, but I know that I've become better for it. Yeah, maybe she didn't have to write it like 10 times, maybe 5. Just joking. And then my daughter, the other day, said, she came to, her grandma was staying in her room and, she needed to use the convenience. She came to my room. And then while she was easing herself, I was brushing my teeth. So I would brush, rinse, check, and everything. Then she goes, so mommy, you do this thing to yourself? So I said to her, because I tell her that her mouth must be pink and white, that I want to see the pink in the tongue and the white in the teeth, on the teeth. And she says, so you do this? So I have to tell her, I don't tell you to do anything that I haven't done myself. Because I need her to understand that it's not about punishing, it's about, So, but back to what we're talking about. We can motivate, we don't have to overdo it. So when we communicate, we need to ensure that we are motivating. We need to be sure that we are inspiring and bringing out the best in people. Don't worry, I haven't fully attained yet, but I'm on the journey and it's looking good. So nobody has attained, as it were. You need to reassure people because the truth is that, insecurities coming. We're all at different levels. And sometimes, you know how they send you an intern and this person just and you feel that the time you can spend on other things, you are now having to tell an intern, put a comma here. You know, this should come. You don't start a sentence with because. And those things can be very, very time consuming, and you can become irritable. But no, I tell you the truth. 99.9% of the time, the intern probably has insecurities because they see you as this so high and mighty kind of person. And you need to just like remember that you were once an intern yourself. In case you can't relate, you shall did NYSC, shall. Do you understand? We were all there once and we didn't all know it. And then, so we need to reassure people and we need to direct where we need to direct. We shouldn't leave things hanging. These are things I have found that works for me. Like I said, I'm still on the journey, and but I'm more deliberate about it now than I used to be. Make sound and timely decisions. Please note that everything I'm talking about are things that have affected me as a person. So I'm one of those people that you could refer to as analysis paralysis. Who knows what I'm talking about? AKA perfectionist. AKA she said obsessive compulsion. Gosh, that's so terrible. So, as a woman, I realize that, again, I need to make a conscious effort to make timely decisions. Because I can be analyzing it. Remember what I said about somebody writing something how many times? The fact that I'm even sharing it now means that I've received deliverance as it were. You know, so we need to make timely decisions, particularly if you are in a people management related field. You know that you manage issues of culture, structure, people, policies, and processes. So, unfortunately, we lost someone in my organization, in one of our organizations last week Saturday, and it was a very painful one. And I've worked for big organizations where everybody aligns, you understand. But smaller organizations, particularly when it's a merger, it's an acquisition, you have to, where you're managing two cultures, as it were, you have to pay a little more attention. So here's what happened. You know, our colleagues come to meet me and say, we want to have a service of candles for our colleague in the office. And I'm thinking to myself, 20 years HR experience, never seen this. Didn't see it coming, because to my view, it's the family that usually manages these kinds of things. Really? You understand? Service of songs and all of that. And these people, and I had to really think about it. Say, okay, is this thing allowed? Is it professional? Should I post something on LinkedIn and see what comes back? I mean, I just wanted to know what could happen. And I realized at the end of the day, it means a lot for the employees. It really means a lot, because you see, they're judging you by what you do to other employees. Do you understand? And I had to give a go ahead, and it held yesterday was a very, really, really painful one. Really painful one, and kind of like draining. But at the end of the day, people were glad that they could kind of like, I don't know if it's attaining closure, but they felt good about it. The fact that they could celebrate one of their own. And I know that it's going to affect our employee engagement. So that's it. So we've got to be quick in managing issues that affect culture, structure, people, policies, and processes, whether you're in HR or not. Because as a line manager, if you are a people manager, these things also affect you as well. So Maya Angelou of blessed memory says, if you get, give; if you learn, teach. And connecting with people is the other thing. So here is what I grew up I'm one of those children who grew up playing by myself because I'm an only daughter with 6 boys. No, 7 boys.
Yeah.
1 before me, 6 after me. So I grew up playing by myself. Do you understand? So I'm used to myself. I'm friends with myself. I can, you understand what I mean? If I am not careful, I can forget that I actually have friends who care about me. And so I have these 2 friends who, if they don't hear from me, they nudge me. And quite honestly, if I see you, we connect and all of that. If I don't see you in a year, I'm not one of those people that will say, hey, you didn't look for me. Hey, you know those Lagos defense something. Before somebody says it, you quickly say it. You know, I'm not one of those people. If I see you, we talk today, and we can share our heart. If I don't see you in another 2 years and we see again, it's like, no, there was no, time hasn't passed. But, so 2 things I put on my my list every year, my list of improvement areas every year. Connect with people. And I will not tell you the second thing. So when we connect with people, it's about building relationships. It's about collaborating. It's about leveraging on others to bring value. It's about, in this world where we are right now, you know that the suicide rate of Nigeria has actually increased, isn't it? Because we're not connecting enough. So we need to connect. We need to mostly across the organization, we need to connect with people. We need to hear people. We need to hear what they are not saying. Thank you. Okay, so let me just quickly see if I can. So again, taking a quote: if we win the hearts and minds of employees, we're going to have better business for success. So connect, connect, connect. Okay? Deal with your imposter syndrome. Us women, like I said earlier, we like to take a back seat. Yeah? I can see some of you shaking your heads. We feel we're not worth the position. We feel we don't belong there. We feel we haven't earned a seat at the table. And so we want to I want to use the word humility. There's no such word, by the way. And you're not being humble. You're doing yourself a disservice. If you feel you're not worth it, then you're not. If you feel you don't deserve it, then you don't. If you feel you can't do it, then you're right. So what am I saying? Break down the mind barriers. Step up and take it. Have you ever seen? Step up and take it. If you want a promotion because you have worked in this organization for as long as you have, and you know you're one of the top performers, ask for it. Nicely. Okay? So don't put a label on yourself that nobody has put on you. Remember, it's not about being a woman. It's about a person, being a person that adds value. Simple. That's all it is. Okay? 0 seconds left. Yeah. Okay. Other points I want to quickly take before I shut down. Let your voice be heard. Don't keep quiet. If you're not comfortable with the way a trend is going, speak up. If you're not comfortable with the way you're being sidelined, speak up. Please, there's a difference between speaking up and complaining. Don't complain on the corridors. Nobody on the corridor will take it to the management. Take it yourself. Be heard. Okay? Stop trying to be a people pleaser. Nobody ever won any awards for it. That's the truth. Jibola, you will give certification for that. Aha. Learn to handle conflicts. Not avoid it. You need to deal with it. But we women also have this habit of, we can be very petty. Something happens, Okay, it has happened. Talk about it and move on. And then if the other person is not moving on, you can bring them back and say, how do we move on from here? Let's not get into it over and over again. Okay? Okay? Tied to what I said earlier on about speaking up about speaking up about a raise, take leadership positions. I'm not saying don't go and tell everyone I'm a manager. No, I'm saying when there's an opportunity to solve problems, you be the one to solve it. I tell you, if you solve problem number one, people will come to you after. They will keep coming. That way, you're building credibility for yourself. You're enhancing your own reputation. You're basically building. You're basically building your own profile, as it were. And so, when anyone needs something, guess what? They will come to you. Okay? Be a team builder. Be a team builder. If God wanted us to be an island, guess what? He'll make little islands and he'll put each and every one there. Let's learn that just because someone is better than us, it doesn't take away from who we are. Yeah. Okay? So I always like to look for people who know it just a little better than me, if I can find. Because it makes life easy for me as well. But we've got to encourage, we've got to develop, we've got to do as much. And finally, we need to find sponsors. Let me tell you the truth. I sit in talent discussions, and there are times when there's an employee, technically sound, but bad behavior. And you as HR, you're saying, no, this person does not fit into our culture. And there is someone in the room saying, no, this person is the best thing after sliced bread. Yes. And they're even telling you that you see that role, that critical role, that is the best person for it. You've got to find a sponsor. You've got to find someone who will speak for you when you are not in the room. And trust me, you will not be there when people are discussing you. What that also means is that you've got to behave yourself. Because you do not know who can speak for you. Okay? And remember, leadership is about serving. If you think that service is beneath you, then leadership is certainly beyond you. So what kind of service, what kind of relationship, what kind of person are you known as? Just like I started with, I do not believe that about, it's an issue, it's not about being a woman. And I like the fact that Sheryl Sandberg has said, she says that in the future, there will be no female leaders. There will just be leaders. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Dorothy myself.
Can we give her a standing ovation, please? This is a fellow leader. Ladies, sisters keeper. That was such a beautiful piece. Such a beautiful piece by Dorothy. Thank you so much, Dorothy. Thank you, guys.